Hello, I'm Sam Brentano, Marion County Commissioner, and I'm with Griselda Puga. And we're here to talk about recycling, and especially food waste recycling this afternoon. But I thought first, Griselda, if you talk a little bit about how you got involved with it and what your interest in recycling in general and food waste. We'll get into it in just a little bit. So tell us about yourself.
Yes, I'm a waste reduction coordinator, and I work for Marion County's Environmental Services Department. And I got started with the Environmental Services Department about 3 years ago. I started as an intern, and then there was a position open that as like a waste reduction coordinator, and so then that's kind of how I came into this position.
Great. You found lots of opportunities to reduce waste, I take it, here in Marion County.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we're supposed to talk about food waste, and I've got to I'm not going to go the whole story, but I have a little background in garbage. We ran garbage companies in what I call my real life. So we started a lot of recycling, but food waste was always one of the really hard ones. What do you do with it? We started a program in Marion County. Well, I'm going to tell you this story. This was a bad one. It still makes me mad. It was right when mad cow disease was going on, and the program that the county at the time wanted us to do was to gather this food waste from restaurants and haul it to feed it to dairy cows. And I didn't want anything to do with it. It's exactly what was causing the trouble there. So it's a little ironic that I come back and now I'm an advocate and talking about it, but things change. That was 25 years ago or so. So let's just start out, and I'll just ask you, why is preventing food waste important?
Well, it is really important because we're finding that about 40% of the food that is being produced in the U.S. actually goes uneaten. And so we are concerned about the amount that is being wasted, and we want to do something about it.
So let me stop you there. So food being wasted in the fields, wasted after purchasing from grocery stores, or where is it wasted?
Well, it is wasted throughout the whole the whole chain.
Okay.
It's wasted at the farms. It's wasted. There's some waste that occurs during transportation, and also when it gets to the grocery stores, and also in the household. But today we're going to be talking about Save the Food. It's our food waste prevention campaign, and this campaign is directed more towards the household waste, trying to reduce household waste.
So 40% gets wasted, and it says here to note that Marion County that the waste that's still going to to our garbage burner, 20% of it would be food waste, if I see this number right.
Yes, that is correct. About 20% of our total waste currently is made up of food. And so there's definitely a lot of things that we can do. We are trying to, through our commercial composting program, we're trying to work with schools, and we're just about 2 years ago we introduced a composting program in elementary schools. So now students are able to put their food waste in a special container that is then transported to Pacific Region Composting, and so it's processed there and then it's converted into compost.
So how is that going? You hear anything about numbers that the kids are recycling, and how's it cut the school bills, or what's this?
Yeah,
results?
so that helps lower, of course, the amount of money that they're spending on waste disposal, and it's really good just because I believe it's about 17,000 tons of food that is being taken to Pacific Region every year. So that's a lot of food that we are seeing going to Pacific Region Composting.
If that's numbers right, it's like 10% of what goes to the burner, so it's pretty substantial. 180,000 tons a year. So, next question for you. So how can people, if this is just more for the residential, how can people reduce food waste? What would you say?
So through this campaign, there's two components to this campaign. There's one that is, one side of it is a pledge. We're asking people to pledge to do something about the amount of food that they're wasting. We're introducing to them 5 tools, which is Prep Smart, Shop, with when you go grocery shopping, have a grocery list with you so that you don't end up buying things that you don't need. Prep early, as soon as you get home from the grocery store. Try to prepare meals and kind of arrange your groceries so that you actually end up using what is a little bit older first, and then the newer things you put them towards the back of the refrigerator so that you're kind of keeping that system moving to where you're eating the older food first before you eat.
I can't pass this up. In the back of my refrigerator apparently is everything I always want, because that's where it is. You gotta dig
Maybe
all
that's
the way
what it
through.
hides
So
back
maybe
there.
I put the good stuff in back, right where I know where to look.
Yes, so there's some tools that we're introducing to families that we hope that they'll start implementing at home. And so that's part of the pledge. We're asking people to come to our website and fill out a pledge and say that they'll try something at home, some new behavior that will help them reduce the waste.
Okay.
Once they fill out the pledge, we're asking them to provide a zip code so that we can track our outreach efforts, and we're actually also asking them to provide a email so that they can participate in some drawings that we have for people who want to pledge. And so that's one part of the campaign. The other part of the campaign is a challenge where we're actually challenging families to start keeping track of how much food they're actually wasting, and we provide them with a toolkit that they can actually use at home, and so they start measuring how much food they're wasting every week, and they track the amount by filling out a worksheet, and then at the end of the 5-week challenge they come back and report back to us by filling a survey. And once again they get to participate in different drawings that we have where we're giving out cookbooks and lunch bags and just a lot of good things that will help them in their efforts towards reducing
No, I'm
waste.
sorry if I missed that, but you said there were 5 things that you were going to do, and I think you only got through 1 or 2 of them. Was there others that you wanted to bring up on that list of how people can recycle at
Yeah,
home?
so it's like shop smart, prep early, how to learn to properly store your food, eat what you buy, things like that. I might have missed one, but I want to encourage people to come and visit our website. They can look at the list there of all the tools that we're providing.
We were talking beforehand, and I mentioned, well, I generally clean my plate pretty good, so I'm pretty good. So that's eat what you buy, but I know that even at our house, there's a lot of food that doesn't all get eaten, and you try to use it up in different forms. And then, I don't think I've ever seen it, but this is what I'm trying to get. Well, I'm trying to get my wife to do at home. Could you just mark on the package when you put it in here? Because if I come in and there's some nice looking something in there, well, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago, but if I know it was just Tuesday, that's probably pretty good. Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
So if I can mark those things and make sure that they're used up.
So I think that's, you're not the only one. I think it's happening to a lot of us, even myself. Now that we launched this campaign, I'm going home and thinking, okay, I need to change my behavior too, because and I need to encourage my husband to do the same, because I am finding out that we didn't used to do a meal plan, and so then I was buying a lot of food that we weren't getting to it, and so it was going bad. So we're encouraging families to
think about it,
yeah,
and make something work.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 things here on this, how can people reduce waste, that were a little surprising to me, and I'll just kind of say what they are. It says don't store fruits and vegetables together. If you have lettuce, put it in a paper towel in a plastic bag in the refrigerator, and eggs should be kept in the middle of the refrigerator in a constant temperature. I didn't know that, so you want to go over those a little bit more for people?
Yes, so we're sharing a lot of different tools and information. Once again, our website, people can find a lot of information, and it's savethefood.net. And yeah, we're finding that actually, and I've implemented some of these things, like the lettuce. If you wrap your lettuce in a paper towel, and then you put it in a plastic bag and you put it in your refrigerator, it'll actually last longer. And it does. I've tried this at home. The eggs, once again, you don't want to put them on the door of your refrigerator because the temperature tends to vary when you open your refrigerator. So it's best to put it inside the refrigerator, and you'll keep where the temperature stays more constant.
Excuse me. The last one that bothers me, I've noticed I like bananas in my cereal a little bit, and but I keep tomatoes in a basket and stuff, and so maybe they're causing the bananas to get ripe too early. Is that possible?
Yes, that is. We're finding that some vegetables and fruits produce ethylene, which is a gas that helps ripen fruits and vegetables. So if, for example, apples, they produce a lot of ethylene. So you don't want to actually put apples with other vegetables because it'll help them ripen. Oh. It'll ripen them faster.
That settles that little mystery.
But you can take advantage of that. You can actually, if you want to ripen something fast, then just put them together in a paper bag, and then it'll help. The apples will help ripen other fruits and vegetables.
It's amazing. Now, what about recycling opportunities? Once you've had some food waste and you couldn't use it up and you need to get rid of it, I think there's different programs. I know this. One in Salem, Kaiser, maybe Staten has a different program. I don't know what Woodburn does, and the rest of the county. So top of your head, tell people what to do. Let's start in Salem, Kaiser. What should they do with leftover wasted now food products to get them into the system?
Yeah, so there's always going to be an amount of food waste. For example, bones and banana peels. So there's always going to be some food waste. But what we're asking people, if they live in Salem or in Kaiser, I know Staten now is, I believe they have a mixed organics container. So if you actually live in these cities, you can put your food waste in the green container, in your mixed organics container, which gets picked up by your garbage hauler.
Now let's be clear, is mixed organics the yard debris container or something different?
Yeah, the mixed organics is the yard debris, in that in the cities that I'm mentioning, Salem, Kaiser, and Staten, you can put your food in there. Now the other, as you mentioned, Woodburn, you want to only put yard debris in your green container.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's be clear. This show is probably going to see mostly in Salem, so we probably had to stick there. But I guess if you live in other parts of the county, of Marion County, and see this, you might want to check in with, I assume, you or someone.
Yes, or you can
questions.
contact your garbage hauler and get information from them as well. Yeah, but so people, if you live in Salem, you can actually put it in your mixed organics container.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's two different other programs that's going, and it might be confusing people. We were talking about residential mostly, but what about commercial? If you have a business, a restaurant for something, what can you do here in Salem in the same way? We've talked about schools. Let's just talk about commercial food waste recycling. Composting, what's the official term?
We call it the commercial composting program.
Composting.
Mm-hmm. Same as like the residential. If you live in Salem and in Kaiser, businesses in Salem and Kaiser can actually contact their garbage haulers, and they have the commercial composting program available. So if they want to be part of this program, then all they have to do is contact their garbage hauler, and then they'll make the arrangements to bring the containers, and they'll first evaluate the area, the garbage area, to find out how much,
what type.
Yes, exactly.
And how big a container, how often to come, I would assume.
Correct, and then they can get they can be part of that program. So that's what businesses can do. Now, as far as like the commercial composting, that's under that program, we've been working with the schools, as I had mentioned earlier, and so we're trying to get schools to also start composting, and the schools that I'm talking about is within the Salem Kaiser School District. So this is schools that are within the Salem Kaiser School District are now starting to compost their food waste.
Have you seen the product yet in Corvallis? Have you seen what it looks like after it gets done?
I haven't seen the product, but it's been going on for about 2 years now. So,
and what are they doing with it when it's all done?
They are selling it to the public.
They are selling it?
Yes, selling it to the public,
and it is selling?
to farms. So far it is, yes.
Okay.
The program has been going for about 2 years now.
Oh.
Yes, and we're hoping that next school year we'll get all the middle schools to be part of this program, because currently we have about 5. Yes, we have about 5 middle schools. All the elementary schools have this program, and we have one high school that just started this past school year.
Griselda, you said you could talk about it for a half hour. You almost did. We're running out of time here. I certainly enjoyed meeting you, and your enthusiasm for this project recycling is wonderful to be part of. So I'm just going to say goodbye and thank you very much.
Thank you.
We all love food, how it brings a community together, how it grows, its rich history, and its delicious taste. However, too much is wasted. The average American family throws away 1/4 of all the food purchased. And in Marion County, 20% of our garbage is made of food. Save money, time, and food by taking the Save the Food pledge. Be the change and save the food today.
Hello, I'm Kevin Cameron, one of your Marion County Commissioners, and I'm here with Jessica Ramey, who is a Waste Reduction Coordinator with Marion County Environmental Services. Welcome.
Thank
Jamie.
you.
It's Jessica. It's great to have you here with us today. And we're here to talk about the Master Recycling Program that Marion County offers. And I have a little bit of personal experience with that. I actually signed up and took the class last year, had a great experience for that. So you're going to have to be really honest with me and tell me about the program, because I'll know all the answers.
You will.
To the
You'll grill
questions
me.
that we're talking about here. Well, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the background of the Master Recycling class?
Absolutely. So it started in 1994. We had one waste reduction coordinator at the time, Terry Freistad, and he learned of a program that was starting in Seattle. So he decided to look into it. He checked out the program and realized that he could adapt that for Marion County. And since then, now we have about 8 different programs throughout the state. And part of that program is paying back 30 hours of volunteer payback hours. And it's been really beneficial to the county. We've had about 8,000 hours tracked. And it's probably more than that because people have a hard time reporting their hours. But that equals about 3.5 years of a full-time position. So yeah.
One of the things I learned, and you asked me before we even started this interview what was some of the highlights for me, but one of the things, I think the program is almost misnamed, and then it's Master Recycling, and it's really talking and helping us talk about reduction, reusing, and then recycling if possible.
Absolutely.
So there's the 3 R's that we learned in that class. What are some of the topics that we go over in the Master Recycling class?
Right, so it really gets into the nitty-gritty details of solid waste in general, and we do really emphasize the reduction and the reusing parts of that. We also talk about what happens when you put it out your bin. Where does it go in the end? A lot of people in Marion County believe that it goes to a landfill, and the majority of it does not. So people get to go on field trips. They get to go to the waste to energy facility to learn more. And we get to learn about composting, worm composting, what to do with styrofoam. There's a lot, and also engaging with the community and learning what the community has to offer, because there's a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah, it was a great experience. In fact, yesterday I was just at one of our transfer stations dropping off Christmas lights. I didn't even know that I could recycle old Christmas lights.
Right.
I learned that in the class.
Absolutely. Anything with a plug can definitely be recycled through the e-waste program.
Right. So one of the things about the class that I thought was really educational was the field trips. Can you tell us a little bit about the field trips if you sign up for this class?
Absolutely. That was, I think, my favorite part too. I took the class in 2012 before I even had this position with Marion County, and I think that was the most fun. And the one I enjoyed the most was going to the waste to energy facility. I don't know if you recall and if you went to that, but
3 times I've been
there. It was so great because it seemed like an interesting 1970s set of Star Trek kind of thing, but you really got to see what was happening and all the work that takes place to make that happen, as well as going to the ash afterwards and see that only 10% of that material is left over from everything that we haul into the waste to energy. So it was good to see the behind the scenes of that. Yeah. But there's quite a few that we go to. Agriplast, which people can recycle agricultural waste there, or their plastics. There's a styrofoam densifier that you could see at the Fresh Start Market. So if people want to get rid of their styrofoam, there's a place to take it now. There's so many different places. A newspaper facility, which people aren't printing newspapers very much anymore, but we are lucky enough to go to one of those. So there's so much.
The burner was, I got to do that twice before the field trip that we went on, but I think one of the things that, and you even said 10% of the ash, today with the new equipment that's in the burner, the ash is taken on a daily basis. It's interesting that you learn this on the field trip, and now that ash is going daily over to Benton County, to Coffin Butte, which is their landfill, and they use it daily to cover up their landfill. So
exactly,
100% of it is now being used for something and not just piled up.
Yeah, and there's even a request for proposal out there for people that have even more innovative ideas to make concrete and other different things with it too.
So who would you say is the normal person that takes the class? Who would you encourage to take the class, or who has taken the class in the past?
Absolutely. So right now we have a lot of retired people that take it, but also a lot of people that are participating in their green teams in their businesses. So a lot of business owners will pay for their employee to be sent for the training, which is great. But we've also had AmeriCorps students and college students participate as well, stay-at-home parents. So it's really neat to see a really big, broad mix of people take it.
Actually, a gentleman from Republic Services was in our class with us, who was actually one of the garbage haulers.
Right.
He was there. But I think one category you left out of people who should go to this class or have gone to this class is actually Marion County Commissioners.
Absolutely, we love that.
Yeah, right.
We were so thrilled that you took it.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things just that I want to know more and more about what Marion County offers, not only in the environmental services areas, but in our health department. So I'm going out and trying to take a lot of those programs, and that's one of the reasons I did that. So where could people find out more about when the class is offered and what that entails?
Great. So people can go to our website, masterrecycler.net, to learn more information about when it's going to be. We are actually mixing it up this year. We are going to be offering it in the daytime on Thursdays from 8 to 4. So what people will do is they'll attend the class and then do the field trips in the later time in the daytime. So usually they're on Thursday nights, but we found that not everybody could attend Thursday evenings. So we're really trying to make it a little bit more flexible for people. So that will start in September and then end October, and it's 5 classes. So it's really doable. It's really affordable. It's $25, and people will have a lot of fun.
So the time period shrunk down. The classes are longer, obviously. So some people that have the time during the day, maybe their business is going to allow them to do that, to learn this, will be able to take it. And if there's those of you that are watching and say, well, I can't take a Thursday class, I'm sure the class will be offered again in the evening at some point in time out in the future.
Absolutely, and we do have a sign-up list. So if say you can't take it this time around, if you sign up on masterrecycler.net, we just keep track of it and send it out when those are available.
Great. One of the things I really appreciate about taking the class is the emails that I get now all the time from environmental services. And one of the give backs is that after you take the class, and in fact, Commissioner Brentano asked me if I has graduated, and I guess I haven't officially graduated because I have to put in 30 hours of volunteer work. And
even commissioners have to do
that.
Yes,
we can't get away with that. And I just got to spend 4 hours in the Save Our Food booth that we just, I think you're hearing about on this tape today at the Marion County Fair. And that was a great experience that I got to engage with people and educate them. And one of the things that we can talk about here is to make sure that people know about Save Our Food and go to the website and sign up to take the pledge.
Absolutely. So the savethefood.net is the website to visit for that. It's really simple. You just click on the things that you're going to commit to do, and then it'll also sign you up for giveaways and emails. We send out monthly emails to educate and further offer tips.
Yeah, another thing that I appreciated about the class, because I live in rural Marion County. I think about maybe last year or the year before, got the blue container where we can put our mixed recyclables in there. But the composting part of it, maybe tell us a little bit about some of the field trips that teach us about composting. I think there was a couple field trips when I was there.
Absolutely. So there are places that you can go that actually teach you worm composting too, which is really exciting. And I just took a weekend class this weekend about that. And it's a master recycler who's teaching it. And it's really great just about how much worms can compost.
Well, you know what I'd use the worms for?
Oh, fishing. Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
And I heard the red wigglers are great for that too. So while they're eating them and they're getting all fat and juicy, then you can use them later for fishing.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing that I said, okay, where do I get the worms to start? And somebody says, well, they just show up.
Sometimes they do. And if you're not so lucky, you can go back and visit Bert and Mona and they'll take care of you. I just got a pound of them and they'll eat about 3 pounds of food a week. So that's quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So other ways that people who live out in the rural areas, besides worm composting, we actually got to tour a place, I think it was over at Bush Park, where there's some different examples of composting bins. And how you can do that in your own backyard.
Yes, we have another demonstration area at the Oregon Gardens as well. And so it's a really good place to see different lasagna gardening and composting as well. So
again, I'm going to share just a little bit about, I've been a county commissioner now a little over a year, and one of the things that I think that Marion County citizens can be very proud of, and I give the credit to Commissioners Brentano and Commissioners Carlson, and even maybe prior to them, is our burning, our burn to energy. Nowhere else in Oregon does anybody do that. And I know that I've been misquoted, and so I may be misquoted again today, but since the last year or so, we go back and forth between #1 and #2 in the state in actually recycling or reducing the amount of waste that goes into our waste system. And that goes in is burned in energy. Currently, I know our public environmental services is looking at other ways to have the ash be used for other products.
Right.
Do you know anything about that and what that process is looking like?
We got some feedback back about that, and I wasn't involved with that project, but it looks like it's going back to a request for proposals to get more ideas.
Yeah, so if we could find, besides the daily cover out, using it at another landfill, if we could find some use, whether that's for roads or bricks or something like that, we would have 100% of our waste actually being consumed, reused into energy.
Well, and that's what's so great about the Master Recycling class is it really does link people that have needs and wants all together in the same place that are thinking very green. So for instance, we had somebody from Kerr Concentrates take the class, and they realized that we have a paint recycling program. But before, we were purchasing or getting these buckets from elsewhere. And they have these buckets because they are processing fruit and whatnot, and they can't reuse it since it has to be food grade. So they connected with us and said, hey, we can give you those for free. We're going to donate them. So it's all these connections of people knowing other people and networking to find these solutions, because they're not just throwaway materials anymore. They really can be resources.
So you mentioned the paint recycling. How does a citizen of Marion County get that paint that we recycle, and what does it cost them?
Well, it's free, and people can go to the transfer station and pick it up. It comes in about a 5-gallon bucket, and it's a beautiful gray. It's a nice warm gray color. When I opened our nonprofit, we actually painted our walls with that, and it was a great solution.
Fantastic. You hear that? You can get free paint at our transfer center, which is out off of Gaffin Road, right?
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Well, I want to say thank you very much for the service that you provide to Marion County citizens, and for sharing with us about the Master Recycling Program. It's one of the most fun things and educational things I've done as a Marion County Commissioner outside my day-to-day job. So we just want to encourage you today to sign up for the Marion County Master Recycling class. Know that the class is from September 10th to October 8th on Thursdays, all day on Thursdays. It's a great class. You'll learn a lot. And then you get to give back and serve in various ways, like I just did at the Marion County Fair for 4 hours. You need to serve for 30 hours. That there's a way you can educate your neighborhood, have all kinds of activities in your neighborhood. But we want to thank you for watching this program. Remember, Save Our Food is important. Go to the website, sign the petition to commit yourself to do better at saving your food. And we just thank you for watching tonight or today, and we'll see you on our next CCTV program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am a master recycler.
I'm a master recycler.
I am a master recycler.
I am a master recycler.
I'm a master recycler.
I'm a master recycler.
I'm a master recycler.
I am a master recycler.
Over 670 people have taken the Marion County Master Recycling class to learn about waste reduction, recycling, composting, and consumption. Become part of the team and join the movement today. Visit masterrecycler.net.